Okay, bro. So you might be a beginner at the gym, and this mainly applies to beginners because I see beginners making this mistake a lot, where they jump from one fitness like training routine to another, within a short period of time. So yeah, I mean, bro, like I've built my physique over the past 9 years, by sticking to just one routine. You know what I mean? And literally, I tried a bunch of routines, and I chose which one worked best for my schedule, and literally stuck with that for 9 years, bro. And you guys out here like trying to like jump from one routine to another, in like the shortest amount of period of time possible, right? Bro, like lifting is so easy, and like people want to make it complicated as fuck. But it's not. It's really not. It's just simple as like just sticking to like progressive overload, sticking to one routine, eating at a caloric surplus and stuff like that, right? Um, at the end of the day, like if someone has to sell you something, if someone has something to sell you, um, then that means they're gonna make it complicated, right? For you to understand, and you're like, okay, it's complicated, so like, okay, so I need to learn more, so I'm gonna buy his course or whatever, right? But at the end of the day, it's less complicated than you think it is, right? The mistake I see people making is that like they see all these influencers, like like whoever influencers are popping right now, they post about their routines and like whatnot on social media, Instagram, whatever, right? Um, and you just think of that, and you just look at that, and you're like, okay, they look pretty good, so like their routine must be more superior to the one that I'm doing right now, right? Let me give you a reality check, bro. Like every routine works, right? You just have to find something that you enjoy and you can stick to in the long term, right? Consistency is what matters at the end of the day, right? um and yeah, you just think that, okay, his training routine must be superior to mine, and you just drop everything that you're doing, and you pretty much like go on a different path, and like you choose his or her training routine over your own, and you pretty much go with that, and you're like, okay, I'm not seeing any progress, right? It's because you pretty much like just dropped all the progressive overload stuff you were doing. All the progression has been like depleted. Like your progression has been literally deleted, bro. So what you need to do is just stick to one thing and like literally be consistent at it for a long period of time, right? And thing is, like when you switch training routines like this, you're leaving your noob gains on the table, right? After like a certain amount of years, like I'd say like 2.5 to 3 years, you're not gonna see that much progress in your physique, right? And especially when you're young, you need to take advantage of these younger years and literally like get on the high horse and like ride it out, like ride the noob gains wave, right? Because like noob gains last for like 3 years, as I said before, and if you don't make the most amount of gains in those 3 years as possible, like you're not gonna make that much progress if you stick to the same habits, like the same routine, and like the same intensity in your workouts and stuff like that, right? And the same eating habits, obviously. And we have a term for this kind of like switching behavior, that happens with like business models, which is like in business, obviously, it's called shiny object syndrome, where you switch from one business model to another, and this pretty much like the same thing, right? You're switching from one training routine to another, and in terms of like diet as well, I won't go into diet in this video. I've done a diet video before, so if you want to check that out, you can check that out on my channel. But like switching from one diet to another is a thing as well, right? And like switching from one business model to another is a thing as well, and switching from one training routine to another is a thing as well. So um yeah, just stop like jumping from one thing to another. And I know it's like you're thinking that it's gonna be easier, and like you think you can have a easier time like working out, if that makes sense. Like if you jump from one routine to another, because it's novel, it's a new thing. Um, and you're pretty much like trying to get the easy way out, right? And there's no easy way out, let me tell you that for a fact. And like, if you don't enjoy lifting and as a whole, then you're not gonna make it that far in lifting, right? You're not gonna get the results that you want. You're gonna get the results that you want when you want it bad enough, and when you literally like put everything that you got, and like you actually enjoy lifting as well. That's when you get like the best results possible, right? Um, you can take a prime example, Sam Select, for example, right? He literally found what works for him, and he literally sticks to it in the long run. He's been doing the same sort of like style of training for like, well, he changed it from like going really heavy to like light squeezing sets as well, when he does his workouts. But like, but he stuck to like the same routine where he, did the same like set of exercises for a long period of time, and he ate a certain way for a long period of time as well, right? So that's what's gonna get you results. And like, if you think it's some other way, it's not. You can't literally find the easy way out. There's no easy way. It's obviously harder than you think it is. Obviously, if you knew, you wouldn't really realize that at first. But the more you stick at it, the more you're gonna like it. The more results that you see, the more you're gonna like it, right? The more you're gonna enjoy it when you see the results, right? Um, and yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. And yeah, it's definitely a grind. I would say, like, it's definitely a grind going from like zero to like hero, pretty much. But you can do it, bro. I know you can, and just stick to it in the long run, and you get there. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace out.